So why does everybody think they are so important nowadays? I made another video about how fame no longer requires talent. You don't have to be anything special, do anything special for you to be in the public eye and for people to be fascinated by you. I'm personally not fascinated by them, but people are. And so I look at the constant, I don't really go on social media, but every time I do, I look at the posts that people make and I just get more and more confused by it. And I started to think about, well, why are people posting these things the way that they're posting them? Let me give you an example. Is people will just post about themselves, talking about themselves, like they are doing these great things, like I do this and this, like I'm so strong when it comes to this, and I resist this, and I do that, and they just talk about how cool they think they are, how strong they think they are, what they've overcome in the past, and how they're this like super person, but they're just boasting. But I understand it, I get it, and it comes from, again, social media allowing people with no talent to be able to rise up and make millions of dollars. So an example was I watched this one video from a channel, a very, very small channel, and they were talking about, should I continue my channel? And they said, well, should I continue making videos because I've made all these videos and I still don't have that many followers? And the whole reason why they started the channel was because they wanted to make money. And I go, okay, there's problem number one. But on top of that, we've turned ourselves into the commodity. Let me explain what I mean. So it used to be, you used to use advertising, marketing, posts were tools to get people to buy things, a product. So you used the social media. Social media was originally for just sharing stuff. It wasn't about making money. But what I'm talking about in regard to selling, there was a product behind the post. There was a reason why you were selling, but you were selling something, some product or service behind whatever it is that we're. Now you or me or whoever it is the product or service. So this is what ends up happening is you have to do something to get people's attention. You have to be great or have some sort of thing that gets people to look at you. And what's happened now is that line has been blurred into just everybody's life. So they just talk about themselves and hope that they're going to get enough traction and enough popularity to then end up making money. Like the product would, turn in revenue. Now you're the product and people watch you, and that because of advertisement, you are then making money because people are watching you. So people just post because they hope, like this guy who was talking about, like, I just wanted to share, my journey with this thing. And I wanted to make money about doing that because he's seen so many people do that in the past. Most of social media in the beginning, especially YouTube, there was no money in it. So it was just, how do you express yourself? Doing stupid things, doing funny things, doing interesting things, sharing stuff. And now, most of what I see on social media is advertisements, but the advertisements are for people. A lot of it is like the OnlyFans girls or fitness people. So it's obviously it's like pleasing to your eye, and that's just why they get a lot of views and they get a lot of traction online. But I'm seeing it with just normal everyday people that don't want to start an OnlyFans, that aren't into fitness, that just want to be an influencer and then have the ability to sell products, all right, and get sponsorships and get advertising money and do whatever that they want to do during their life to get. But it's not only them, because that's what we see so much on social media. Even people that aren't necessarily looking to become an influencer are still posting like an influencer. Because it's just so ubiquitous and then everyone is doing it, this is just kind of what things have turned into. So like I see this all the time where people are like posting about life as an investment banker, all right, in Chicago, and they just film themselves. And it's like, yeah, this is boring as fuck. Like your life is not interesting at all, okay? But yet there's this air of I'm important, I'm special, I'm cool, or what my life is like before and after my 9 to 5, and they film themselves doing all these things, and I look at it and I go, I get social media, I understand it when there's like pictures of you when you went to an event, or you went to someone's birthday and you're celebrating, or there's some gathering of people and you're sharing the experiences that you've had. But when it comes to you're just sharing you, and like I said, you're not sharing some great thing that is happening. Like, hey, this is what it took to get from here to here. Like, I'm showing you the progress as things have been going on, or I'm showing you the end result and I'm explaining to you what was going on, okay? And really helping people along the way. You see a lot of those types of posts, but now it's been hijacked by people who are they haven't come through anything. They're just saying that. They're just acting as if they are this important person. Some people are, right? Some people have built businesses and things like that. But you look at other people and they're just taking that playbook and acting as if. And it's so exhausting to look at. And I don't know how people spend time on social media nowadays, because every post, and then it goes on beyond that, where people are they post pictures and stuff and they're just like, they think that they're so cool and so important. And we now have actually made that a reality. So this is where it really sucks, because now I'm sitting there and I'm going, but you're not. Like in my head, when I talked about the no talent thing with a celebrity, I look at these people and I go, why do people like them? And then I go, oh my God, they have millions of followers. So they are important. They are wealthy. They are interesting. Even though I find nothing interesting about them, other people have now made them interesting because they are this figure and because they are who they are. And that's what a lot of people are chasing. And I look at it and I go, this is terrible for people in relations, because egotism and super self-importance disconnects you from another person. It makes you look down on other people. I'm special. And if I'm special, that means that other people aren't. And I look at that and I know that there is some of the, where it's blending together where, hey, everybody is important. But the fact of life is they're not. This is just how things are. Life isn't fair, okay? And when we as people are trying to act as if that we're more special than we are, because we see these people who have no talent of their own and they're risen to the top of these social media avenues, I look at people and I go, this is not a good thing to aim for. When in the past, people who were great and they were in the public eye, they had these qualities and they had these skills and they had this work ethic that allowed them to rise those ranks. And at least that was something to be admired. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. You just do your life and you are important and you act as if. And the more you act as if, the more people go, I wonder what that person's got going on. And then all of a sudden they go viral, and then all of a sudden they're super popular. But there's nothing there. Their goal was just to make money off of social media, not by doing anything special, not by contributing anything to society just by turning a camera on and looking at them. And I know you're sitting here and you're going, wait a second, JD, you're doing the same exact thing. And I go, yes, but my perspective is I know that I'm not going to become popular. I've given up on that hope. And so what I make videos for are for like a self-therapy. It's just getting stuff out and talking and then sharing my honest opinion, which I think, like when you say sharing your honest opinion, I think that should be normal. I don't think that you should say that that's your honest opinion. But that's what I'm trying to say is so much on social media is this fake bravado of like, this is what I'm so important. And that's not necessarily how people feel. It's not genuine, but because they know that that is what's going to attract the followers, they have to act as if. And when I post, I just want to get ideas out of my head and out onto an avenue so that maybe people might come across them and we can have a discussion about it or get people's minds thinking. I'm just sharing my perspective. I do not want to turn, even if I did, let's just say I did become viral off of one of my videos and I got tons of followers, I would hope my goal, because this is how I am now, I would not have marketing and advertising for things just because people pay me. It would only be on something that I personally used myself. So if I was going to market or advertise something, it would be truthful. I would never cross that line over, well, I want to make money off of this and they're offering a lot of money so that I can just sell this product. I would, not even something that I believe in and, oh, this is a great product. No. Only things that I would personally use myself because that's my truth. That's me expressing myself. That's the whole reason why I have the channel. That's why I like YouTube, because it's me. This is me. This is just me sharing. But my goal is not to become some wealthy person from this type of thing. If it happens, cool, okay, but that's not the goal. I look around today and everyone's goal is to post and to make money. And so that taints the way that they post. And even people who that's not their goal, because they see so many of the posts that are like that, they assume that that's what you're supposed to do. We're very social. We learn from one another. So we go, well, they're posting that, so it's okay. I see 10 of my friends posting like that, so I'm gonna post like that. And then it becomes natural. But I'm telling you, it's exhausting and it is not good for human relations. You look like you're arrogant, you're boasting, you are prideful. These are qualities that are, in my opinion, these are not positive qualities in human beings. And we as a society are doing a terrible job at teaching people that those are not good qualities. I don't see the qualities that we want, humility and things like that, being posted because a humble person wouldn't post. They wouldn't act like that. They wouldn't try to take the spotlight. They wouldn't donate money to some homeless person only with a camera on. They would donate money and not tell anyone. Not tell anyone. Not have a plaque on the wall that said that they donated this. They would not tell anyone. That is how I believe that we make the world a better place. And now I don't see that attitude being produced and replicated. And I don't know what that means for the future. I think about like sacrifice, like we're in a war right now. Like if a war came here and people were gonna I feel like people it would turn into chaos and people would take from one another. It would not be the majority of people, the mindset that we have is so self-important that we would not try to, like, women and children first, like, no, screw you. I'm going to take what I want. I'm going to survive. Screw you. That is not a good place for society. And I don't know where that leads. Today, a lot of it doesn't really affect us that much, right? On the grand scheme of things, but it will, if that attitude over time starts to creep into every area. And we've talked about how this does in when you walk into a store and the people who are working there, who their job is to give you service and they don't want to give you service, you're sitting there and you're going, well, what the heck? Like I don't know what to do. I'm in this new thing and you don't even want to help me and you're getting paid for that. It's a very interesting time, and that's only going to get worse if this type of habit of self-importance being so on the scale of our values so high, and we're sometimes I think that we're doing it without even thinking about it. Like I was walking all these posts, I'm like, why is this person posting like that? And I'm like, oh, they're not popular yet, but this is what they want to be like. And then I go, why is this person? I'm like, maybe they want to, but it doesn't seem like it. I think that that's just part of what people do now when they post. And so I look at it and I think that it's getting into a very interesting time, and we've turned ourselves into products, and that's not a good thing. All right. I just don't see that as a good, I don't like marketing products as it is. So now when we've turned ourselves into it, I think it's even worse. So anyways, those are just some of my thoughts on what is happening on social media and what it's doing to our personalities and how we project ourselves onto our platforms, which so much of our lives are on these platforms, or so many people's lives are. That's not where you really exist, though. You exist in the real world. So when that mentality continues to fester and foster, which I don't know which one would be the best one. I guess it kind of festers a little bit, but it continues along in your life, you're going to have that bleed into so many other areas. Like I said, at your job, in your relationship. I don't think that these are good things for relationships, for other people, community, the world at large. So again, that's just my opinion. I'm just posting stuff to get it out of my head and to possibly start a conversation or get someone else to start thinking for themselves as well, and maybe sharing some of these ideas, and then coming up with solutions, and then changing it. If there's a problem, we got to talk about it, we got to figure it out, and then we change it. And that's one of the reasons why I like talking about this stuff, because we got to get it out there. If we hold it in, all right, what happens is it does fester, and then it explodes. And that explosion usually is not very, very good. Doesn't usually work out. We want to try to stop these things before they turn into some bigger problem down the line. That's it for today. Until next time, I'll see you then.